Mira had always believed one thing very strongly. Rich people don't have hearts. It wasn't just a thought. It was something life had taught her. She grew up in a small village, in a tiny house with cracked walls and a leaking roof. Her father was a farmer. Her mother stitched clothes for neighbors to support the family. They didn't have much, but they had love. When Mira was 16, her father fell sick. They went to a big hospital in the city, filled with wealthy people. Mira still remembered the cold looks, the impatient staff, and the way they were ignored because they couldn't pay in advance. Her father died waiting. That day, something broke inside her. From then on, she started hating the rich, their cars, their clothes, their careless laughter. To her, they were selfish, arrogant, and heartless. "I will never marry a rich man," she used to say firmly. Life, however, had different plans. Years later, Mira grew into a strong, educated woman. She worked as a teacher in a nearby town, living a simple life with her mother. One evening, her uncle came home with surprising news. "A proposal has come for you," he said. Mira smiled lightly. "From where?" He hesitated before answering. "A very rich family. From the city." Her smile disappeared instantly. "No," she said without even thinking. "I don't want to marry into a rich family." Her mother looked worried. "At least meet them once, Mira." "I already know what they're like," she replied coldly, but her uncle insisted. "This is not just any family. The boy is well educated, respectful." Mira agreed. The meeting took place in their modest home. When Arav walked in, Mira noticed something unexpected. He wasn't arrogant. He wasn't loud. He was calm. He greeted her parents respectfully, sat quietly, and didn't show even a hint of discomfort in their small house. When it was time for them to talk alone, Mira didn't hold back. "I don't like rich people," she said directly. Arav looked at her, slightly surprised, but not offended. "Can I ask why?" he asked gently. "Because they think money is everything. They don't care about others." He stayed silent for a moment, then said softly, "Not all of them are like that." She looked away. "That's what they all say." Instead of arguing, he simply said, "Maybe you're right. Or maybe you just haven't met the right ones." His calmness irritated her more than anger would have. But for some reason, she couldn't reject him immediately. A few days later, under family pressure and her mother's emotional request, Mira agreed to the marriage, without believing in it. After marriage, Mira entered a completely different world. A huge mansion, luxury cars, servants, everything she had always disliked. She felt like a stranger. Even though Arav never forced her into anything, she kept her distance. She spoke politely, but her heart remained closed. At night, they slept on the same bed, but like strangers. She noticed something strange, though. Arav never showed off his wealth. He woke up early, worked hard, treated everyone kindly, even the servants. He never raised his voice. But Mira thought, this is just an act. One day, Mira fell sick. High fever. She expected servants to take care of her. Instead, Arav stayed by her side the entire night. He placed a cold cloth on her forehead, gave her medicine, and didn't sleep even for a minute. At one point, half conscious, she whispered, "You don't have to do this. You can ask someone else." His reply was soft, but firm. "You're my wife. It's my responsibility, and my choice." Something inside her shifted, but only slightly. Days passed. Mira started noticing things she had ignored before. Arav secretly funded education for poor children. He helped his employees financially without making it public. He visited old age homes quietly, without any media or attention. One day, she followed him without telling him. She saw him sitting with an old man, feeding him with his own hands. There was no arrogance, no pride, only kindness. That night, Mira couldn't sleep. Was I wrong all this time? The truth that changed everything. One evening, she finally asked him, "Why do you help people so much?" Arav smiled faintly. "Because I know how it feels to need help and not get it." She frowned. "What do you mean?" He looked at her, his eyes holding a quiet pain. "I wasn't born rich, Mira. My father struggled a lot. We became rich later. But before that, we lost someone important because we couldn't afford proper treatment." Her heart stopped for a second. It felt like her own story, reflected in his. "That's why I promised myself," he continued. "If I ever have money, I'll make sure others don't suffer like we did." Tears filled Mira's eyes. For the first time, she felt ashamed. She had judged him, without knowing anything. That night, Mira sat beside him quietly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. He looked at her, confused. "For what?" "For hating you, without knowing you." Arav smiled gently. "You didn't hate me. You hated your past." Her tears fell freely now. Slowly, she placed her hand in his. "I was wrong." He held her hand softly. "And now?" he asked. She looked into his eyes for the first time with honesty. "Now, I see you." After that day, everything changed. Mira no longer saw wealth as something evil. She saw it as a tool. It depends on the person who holds it. She and Arav grew closer. They talked more, laughed more, loved deeply. The distance between them disappeared, replaced by warmth and understanding. One day, while standing on the balcony of their home, Mira said softly, "I used to think rich people don't have hearts." Arav smiled. "And now?" She leaned her head on his shoulder. "Now I know. Some of them have the biggest hearts. Sometimes we hate something not because it's wrong, but because of the pain connected to it. Not all rich people are heartless. Not all poor people are kind. Character is not defined by money. It is defined by the heart."